Hello everyone and welcome to my channel again. Thank you to all my subscribers. Today really I was contemplating, of making this video, but I've always wanted to write a book about my life because I think that my life is very unique, because I've traveled around and I experienced, a lot of experiences which were kind of like bizarre and odd. And as you know, in my previous video, I told you that I went to the US when I was 10 years old. So this video is like, don't judge a book by its color. So when I lived in the US, I discovered something, it's called the N-word, unfortunately. And that N-word, it would crash into me, or like, come up and get repeated and repeated and repeated, which was, to me, first as a 10-year-old, and then, growing up until maybe I was 25, in the US, I was, every time, I was like super shocked, about, the use of this word. So the first time, I heard the N-word is I used to live in the Italian town in Philadelphia, and where I come from, my my family, always the girl in particular, she will have like gold and gold earrings with diamonds, I mean, that's like a must kind of thing. So I remember that we would go buy some sweets from this little supermarket on the corner it's in the Italian town. And when we go there, the Italian guy, he will take my sister's earring and look at them, because really they were diamond. And he will be like, negra, negra, negra. So I was 10 years old, but, I would, as the head, my dad made me the boss, because, I had to take my sister and my little brother to school. So I'd have to report to him, what happened that day, how was, when we took the trolley, was it smooth? We took the bus, and then we take the bus and take the trolley back. And it was, so I told him, I said, look, I think, you should not, put jewelry on my sister, because, these guys, they're like, and they're saying negra, negra, what's going on? And my dad, he doesn't know this, what's negra, negra. He doesn't know what the hell it is. So my fifth grade teacher, okay, this is another story. After being in the Italian town, I used to go to school, and it was called, excuse me, the school's name was Greenfield Elementary School. And there was a teacher there, and of course, for me, I didn't speak English. That's number one. And the other thing is that, I was never introduced to, the English letter, the A, B, C, Z, whatever. So I kind of didn't know I cannot read, I cannot speak, but I'm in the class, okay, and I'm trying to learn. And they had this like machine, you put speakers, and you'll pass it through, and it'll say a dog, a rat, a cat, a mouse, and I was picking this up little by little. I was picking it up, they were teaching me English. But one day, maybe after 4 or 5 months, we had this kid. His name is Paul. He came from Poland. and the teacher's like, me, get up, near the board, and Paul gets up near the board. So she's like, Paul, I want you to spell, let's say, cat, okay? And he wrote it down. And then she's like to me, I want you to spell dog, or or pigeon, or whatever, and I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know how to write. Anyways, she made like really big fun of me, okay? And then she called me after class. After all the class, they laughed at me, and she made a speech about how stupid I was and everything. And then she's like, you're just an inner, an N word, okay? And okay, now that's cool. I need to ask my dad what is that now, okay? I went home, I asked my father, and my father is like, this is, a bad word, that they say to people that they bring here as slaves, in Africa. So I'm not still, the concept is not getting in, of what's going on. So we moved to York, okay? York was like super interesting. York, Pennsylvania, it was like super interesting, okay? Most of the time when we buy something, okay, and we leave Kmart, because we'd go shopping in Kmart, okay? I don't know where that Kmart is, but it's like a big Kmart. I don't remember anymore. And we'd come out, go down the steps. There's like movies, on the right. By the time we get down the steps, the security guard is chasing us. What did you take out of that bag? And the guy, he's African American, the security guard. So it was like, horrible, going to Kmart, because it didn't happen once, it didn't happen twice, it didn't happen three times, that, hey, we stole something from Kmart or something. Uh, Also, my school was Hayshire Elementary School, and there was my teacher. His name is Mr. Kraut, and he had a disability, where he cannot walk. It's like some kind of, I forgot what kind of disease it is, but you get it when you're little, and then you cannot walk. My teacher, so he told me, he told us, to draw a goat, okay? So, hey, where I'm coming from, we're familiar with goat, ins and out, up, down, everything, So I drew a goat, and I drew, its nipples, you know what I mean? And all the kids, I see them laughing and everything, and we handed in our drawings to him, okay, and he's looking at them, and then he looked at my drawing and like banged the table, got up on his crutches, okay, came and he grabbed me by hair, and he's like, I'll never forget like that, and for the rest of my life. And then he threw me, back, in front of the children. Also, so guys, don't draw a nipple on a goat, okay? Just draw a goat, okay? We had PE class, so during this PE class, it was mandatory that they teach square dancing. And I was wondering, that, why the girls, they don't want to dance with me, okay? And maybe one it was okay with me, okay, but then her parents, came in and said, look, don't let our daughters dance with this guy. So That was like kind of like super weird. You know, they came to the school and said, "Don't let him dance with this guy." Then I moved to North Hills Junior High School. It's still in York, Pennsylvania. Uh, One unique thing about me, okay, is that because, you know, being called stupid, 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 guys, don't let anybody call you stupid. Never let anybody take advantage of you or call you stupid. So it just gave me more motivation. So, you know, we had an assignment, you know, where you have to remember all the states, okay, and all the capitals of the states. So I came in, you know, I think it was during the weekend. I studied real hard, came in, and it's a blank map of the USA, blank. There's no writing, nothing on it. And the teacher, he had a stick and he would point. So he pointed, you know, at so and so state, and I was like, okay, Pennsylvania. And then he pointed what's its capital, and I said it. And then, you know, Texas, and I said it. And then he went up Alaska, and I said the state and the capital. Then he brought, you know, the people in my class, and most of them apparently they didn't study, you know. Then he brought me back again, and then, you know, he chose some other, you know, random states, and I could name them all, and he just blew his steam about, you know, how can this guy who isn't even an American, you know, how can he name all of these states, you know, and how can you, you know, how it's impossible, you know, and all of you children, you know, you are stupid. So that day, you know, I was like, yeah, good, okay, I'll even study more harder. Mm. You know, and he was kind of like surprised because, you know that and N was smarter than the kids in the school, because, you know, the school where I went to, I was the only guy with this kind of color. Everybody else was white. Mr. Muller, oh my God, my guidance counselor. He had like a crew cut, you know, one of these like military things, and he would always bring me. He would always bring me in, and, you know, he doesn't know my background. He doesn't know who I am, so he'll always bring me in and like, oh, I'm suggesting that you should go to Votech, and then, you know, by the end of the year, he's like, no, you have to. The only thing is Votech, and I'm telling him, you know, no, I'm gonna go to college, and he's like, no, 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 for you, only Votech. Uh, so they purposely put me in a special ed class so I don't make it into college. That's really, guys, what happened to me. Uh, he was dripping prejudice, this gentleman. Uh, Also, they had like a tetanus kind of thing, you know, where they put something under your skin. And of course, I'm different, you know, so they put this thing, you know, and the next day they checked us, okay, and in the auditorium, okay, and I'm the only guy they put to the side. Uh, I did go get it checked. I had no problem, no issue. I didn't, you know, as a special doctor and everything. Um, and they, honestly, guys, you know, I felt like I had leprosy for the rest of the year. Really, it was really a horrible, horrible experience. One time, I had a best friend, Connie. Her name was Connie, and she took me to a party. And this party was out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know, Dover maybe, or something, PA or something. And I came, you know, to pour for myself, you know, beer. And there was a gentleman in front of me, so I'm like, go ahead, you know. So he turned around and like, I'll be damned, I never met a well-mannered one before. And I'm look at him and I'm trying, to click in what he's saying, what does he mean by that? And then Connie's like, hey, you stop it. Don't talk to him like that. Uh, I had a 280Z red, candy apple red, and I had a Camaro, 1984 Camaro. I would always be stopped with the police, always stopped by the police. Uh, uh, One time, he stopped us and he impounded the car and he took us to the police station, and then he made a phone call and the lady said, no, my car is, here in the parking. I see, I see it. And then he found out that he called in the nameplate wrong. Okay, so he apologized and everything, and basically he was afraid, that we will sue him, and he was like, he turned from a monster, to a teddy bear. Then I moved to Texas. Now Texas was a disaster for me because the school that I went to, Ross S. Sterling, there was just I had no friends there. Maybe I had just one friend, but he had like some kind of illness or something, you know what I mean? And nobody wanted to hang out with him, and nobody wanted to hang out with me. So we'd hang out, me and him would hang out together. But then, I discovered that he's kind of a little bit weird. So I just kind of like stopped hanging out with him. Now, the good part. So my dad decides to send me to a Catholic boarding school. It was called St. Francis Prep in Spring Grove, Pennsylvania. And guys, this is where the Franciscans priests, okay, God bless their soul, all of them. Whether some of them they're alive, some of them they're dead. They enlightened me in that school. I was on the honor roll in that school. So the 3-hour study hall at night, I didn't have to attend it. And my mind just like enlightened. I started to read books. I started to read literature. I started, to really, really, work on myself because, shout out to Father Richard. He really, really enlightened us. He made us have a journal, write about ourselves, and the more we wrote about ourselves, the more we discovered about ourselves. So then I graduated. I was 18 years old. I had an apartment. I got my own apartment. I got my own car. And I went to York College, Pennsylvania. So basically, guys, when I went to York College of Pennsylvania, I started out with rednecks. And by the time I graduated, I ended up with educated rednecks. They just learned how to hide their prejudiceness. I'll give you an example. In the creative writing class, I wrote about how to get rid of flies. Okay, and it was the teacher was so fascinated with it. Okay, that he slammed the whole class. That this guy, this is a second language to him, and you guys, really very disappointed. So I felt, that the teacher, he was very, very prejudiced. How can this foreigner be better than you guys? Also, I worked in the Hill and Sheraton Hotel, and some example, like when I was working in the Hill, my boss introduced me to one gentleman because it's a restaurant and a bar. And he's like, "Oh, you're just a little one." And my boss is like, "Hey, now, she's a lady. You stop that, you know?" So I don't know till today, I'm starting to figure out what "I'm just a little one" is. Okay. Uh, Also, I worked in the Sheraton, and, as I was, tending to the tables and everything, I approached this elder gentleman with his wife, because it was a Sunday, and he's like, "Oh my God, that woman is with a black man." And yeah, we did get, somebody coming to the restaurant. He's a black guy, okay, with a white lady, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" Uh, Also, when I was living in the Central District, Central High School District, uh, my friend Chris, he took me to a bar, so we can have a beer. And after the lady, I could just tell, man, she was like shocked when I came into the bar. For what? I don't know. Anyways, she served me a beer. Chris drank a beer, and then the next day I saw Chris, and Chris was like, She told me, you know better than to bring that kind into this place. Also, I had this like beautiful girlfriend. I'm gonna do a video about her. Her name was Andrea, and I took her to her 18th birthday, and these two guys, they were bald. I was like super super young then, and they're like, "He's with an underage. He's a black man with an underage. That inner, he is with underage," like that. I'm like, "Oh my God, man! I mean, why don't you guys like get a rope, take me out of the restaurant, and lynch me or something, you know?" Uh, Also, I had a beautiful, beautiful knockout model girlfriend, and she kind of told me, "Hey, look, we can't hang out anymore because everybody's like, who's your colorful friend?" Which is me. Yeah. One time, one of my buddies, he had an accident at night, and the the tire was rubbing on the metal, and so when the car moves, the tire will be rubbing on the metal, and he had to go home because we were having a big break vacation. So I told him, I said, "Look, do you want me to fix it for you?" He said, "Yeah, fix it." I'm like, "Okay, jack it up, take the wheels off." Then he's like, "So, how are you gonna fix it?" I'm like, "Give me a baseball bat, or two, or three, or whatever." So we got like three baseball bat, and we just started banging that metal, and till it kind of raised up, and then all of a sudden, whew, the police. And he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And we're like, "Look, my friend doesn't have the money to fix the car. It's vacation. He's gonna go home, and this is the only way for us to fix the car." So he's like, car maintenance, car repair on the radio. So thank God, we didn't get arrested. Uh, Also, one of my professors, he wanted me to join the Northern Regional Police because, my major is criminal justice. And he said, that, it's a requirement, and you're a smart person, and we'd like to have you on the force. Then I checked, that there was nobody of color on the force, so I guess they were required. Hey, all my friends, when they got drunk, the N-word they used on me, the N-word. And they would repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. When they get drunk, you inner, you inner, you inner. And I would always tell them, I tell them with a good heart, "Hey, I came here on a Pan Am 747 flight. You came here on boats. Your problems are not your problems are not my problems. Yeah. So coming back to the Philippines, I live in Davao. Okay. I see the same people, but they are older and they still have the same attitude. I was telling one of my friends I got my salary today, and he said, "Do you know what we call that in Chicago? You're inner rich. You're in rich, okay? Today. That's what we call it in Chicago. Also, I have a friend who's the same nationality as me, but he looks European. He looks, American. Okay, so any guy he see him, he will come and he will approach him and ignore me. Even if you say hello to them, okay, they will not say hello back to you. I mean, even here in my building where I live, I'd see somebody first time, hello, sir, good morning, sir, nothing, no reaction. Then I just um, you know, just give them silent treatment, like they would give to me. It's so sad to see this disease come here, to Asia also. It's pure effed up in the head. There's one English guy here, okay, who we sit at the coffee shop, and when he comes, I swear to God, man, he just he'll sit and give us his back. He will not say hello. He will not say nothing. And basically, he's married and he has like 5 girls on the side, and he comes to that coffee shop, to pick up girls, and then he'll give them a boarding house, I guess, put them in boarding house or something, So basically, he's cheating on his wife. His face, it looks like, when you're constipated, okay, and shit, it will not come out, okay. I mean, halfway out, halfway in. That's what he remind me of. So we just ignore him, we don't talk to him, and he ignore us also. And to conclude, yes, since it's Christmas, guys, since it's Christmas, okay. And to conclude, yesterday I was sitting with my friend, Mr. C, okay. He's from South Carolina. And since it is Christmas, there was a song in the mall playing, All I Want for Christmas, All I Want for Christmas, like that. So he started singing, all I want for Christmas is an inner, okay? All I want for Christmas is one inner. All I want for Christmas is 5 inners, you know what I mean? And all I want for Christmas, just repeating it and repeating it. So, guys, and since it's Christmas, Merry Christmas, for everybody, almost Christmas. And I'm going to leave you with a song. It's by Bob Marley. I'm going to put it in the link. And it's called Cold Ground Was My Bed Last Night. Rock was my pillow too. The name of the song is Talking Blues. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much, guys. And please, please, please subscribe to my channel. And a disclaimer, whatever I said, okay, it's my personal opinion. It has nothing to do with anybody. But this is what happened to me, when I was, living in America. I lived there I went there when I was 10 years old.